What's up, nerds? We're your hosts this week. I'm Jake.
I am Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks. Fuck. Keep it in. Just go.
Good. We're also sponsored by Ray. Oh fuck. Crybaby Craig's hot sauce.
This week we have a couple of guests on to talk about Battle of Sketches for our fourth and final interview week for this collaboration, where we get to talk about some tips for navigating just being an artist in general and their process for completing art pieces and deadlines in a digital world.
Yeah. And we will also be talking about the season finale of House of the Dragon, now streaming on HBO Max. And that's about it. So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. My camera's way up there now. Change it.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Jake Lee.
That's
Jakey.
me.
How was your week?
My week was good. Did the whole work thing. I've been very sick, as you know. I'm finally feeling better. And we went to a bar, and a lot of our listeners are not from Minnesota, or some of them are not from the United States at all. But here in Minnesota, roulette, like for gambling, is illegal. But I found a place.
Except for in Vegas, but yeah.
They had a workaround so you could play roulette, and it was a lot of fun. And if you live in Minnesota, it's called Stanley's. It's the upstairs, in Northeast Minneapolis. I won some money. It was cool.
That's pretty sweet.
It doesn't sound very exciting, but it's actually a pretty big fucking deal.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I won back not only the money that I spent on dinner and drinks and pull tabs and roulette. When I drunkenly woke up, I had more money than I left the house with.
That's
I
always
said that right.
so
No, I
great.
said it right.
That's
Yeah.
just like the
I was
best
like-
feeling.
I checked my bank account, and I was like, "Oh no, I spent a lot of money." And then I opened my wallet, and I started counting cash, and I was like, "Hold on a second. I have more money than I had when I left. What the fuck's going on here?" Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
what's
it
up.
was a lot of fun. How about you? How was your week?
Well, I didn't act like a degenerate and gamble, only because I tend to have a gambling issue. When I start, I don't stop, and then I start winning, and I'm like, yeah, free money, let's keep playing, and then I lose. Really didn't do a whole lot this week. Played a lot of video games, and then I bought a new monitor arm for an extra monitor for my gaming PC, so that I can have my game on one, and then all the Twitch and Discord and stuff like that on the other. So
Dope.
yeah, it was pretty chill. I mean, we hung out for a little bit on Sunday, which was cool. Got a chance
Was
to
cool. Yeah.
have lunch.
Lunch, couple drinks.
Very underwhelming Bloody Mary and black bean burger, but
I didn't hate the black bean burger.
I also didn't love it.
I was gonna say, but I wasn't I wouldn't I wouldn't write home about it.
Yeah, it hit the spot. The fries and
French
onion
fries-
rings were pretty good.
I didn't care for the onion. The
They
French
were
fries
greasy.
were fucking bomb.
Yeah,
The fries were good.
yeah,
Fries were real good. Yeah.
but yeah. So this week, on the day that this episode comes out, is our final prompt for our collaboration with Battle of the Sketches. So this week is witches. It's a pretty broad topic.
Which is which?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And which fits with which.
Yeah.
Once we get through the interview, you'll understand what that means, because we're kind of looking forward to a mashup.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, it's all Marvin's fault.
I'll be so mad at you.
Sorry, Marvin. Not to throw you under the bus, Uh, but we hope that you follow through with that
Hmm.
idea we came up with because it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Even though this is our last week for the collaboration of creating the prompts and interviewing artists each week, on our website we will still have the gallery up for another month where you can look at art from all these incredible artists from literally across the globe
Yeah.
and also buy some one of a kind original art, which is really cool. And all the proceeds go back to the artists and to local comic book stores. So we take nothing from it. It's to support local comic shops and artists.
Also, like, even after Battle of the Sketches is has been around for a while
Yeah, for a few
and will
years. And
and will continue to be around. And I really urge every one of our listeners to check this shit out, participate, even if you don't think you're very good. Um, Everyone on the on bat bots is what they call it. Uh, they're so supportive. There's never been any shade or like negative. It's all feedback,
yeah.
positive
And
feedback.
if you want harsh feedback so that you can grow, I mean,
Yeah,
they'll give it to you, but
yeah,
most of the time it's just support
hmm,
support and hype and
yeah.
it's so cool.
They really encourage you, and even if you don't do art, like at least go check it out. If you like art, check out Battle of the Sketches. A lot of these people do commissions and stuff like that. So even after our collaboration ends, you can still buy art from these people. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, I've been eyeballing a few things.
same.
I'll be making some purchases myself.
Same.
Yeah.
My next bonus check will probably be cut a little short because of these. Um,
Yeah.
but also today, well, when we're recording today,
Oh, I was
uh,
like, am I supposed to be talking right now?
the Ant
No, yeah,
Man and the
yeah.
Wasp Quantum Mania trailer dropped
Woo!
from the bootleg half visible Comic Con leak. It's not the same trailer.
I imagine that trailer will be trailer number two, which will come out like next month or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that that will be with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If not,
Mm,
it might come out a little bit closer to the
yeah.
holidays and New Year's stuff like
Yeah.
that cuz
We're kind of getting spoiled because we get sorry, my chair is so noisy. I feel like that microphone's just picking up everything.
eat
Uh
eat eat.
we're kind of getting spoiled because we get uh literally in like what 2 weeks we get Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever,
Mhm.
and then January, February we get Quantumania.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, you
these
skipped
are
December, but that's fine. Next month is only
December,
November,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but still very
But
close together.
yeah, this is great and to have that, and they're both huge movies.
Yeah.
Um, and to have them so close together, I is like really exciting
Yeah.
because normally you have to wait like kind of a long time
Yeah. 6
between
months to a
movies.
year.
Yeah.
So,
So
but the
this is gonna be
trailer
dope.
looks awesome. We
Jonathan Majors,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, he looks so good. And I mean, it looks like it's lights in his helmet that makes his face blue, but we do get blue-faced Kang in the trailer, which is dope.
Yeah. And it could even
Yeah.
be kind of like almost like a phase shield sort of thing
Yeah.
from those lights. We don't know, but
Yeah. It's cool.
we'll see.
And we see him call Scott Lang Ant-Man because we know that Kang has in this version of whatever has killed multiple Avengers because
Yeah.
in the leaked trailer he says, "You're
Haven't
an
I killed you
Avenger?
before?
Have I killed you before?"
Yeah.
And so in this trailer he calls Scott Ant-Man, which means he knows him from a different timeline, which is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm I between Black Panther and this movie, I am so torn. I'm 50-50. I'm stoked about both the movies. I'm
Yeah. I'm
Ah,
excited for both of them for very well, not very, but for different reasons.
yeah.
So let's not waste any more time.
Sorry.
No,
I could go on. I could go on.
no, we could just like ramble because that's how this podcast came to be, was just drunken ramblings
Yeah.
from both of us.
Hmm.
But let's get into our interviews with Martin and Marvin.
Not
You'll
to be confused with Martin and Marvin.
Yeah, or Marvin and Martin. But before we do that, we do have to tell you about our first sponsor, which is Ray's Energy Drinks. As you all know, it's a
Pickled habanero and garlic.
fantastic energy drink. Zero sugar, zero calories, zero crash. But they have so much more than just energy drinks if that's not your thing. So listen up, learn how to save 15% site wide, and we'll be right back with our incredible artists and guests. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Welcome back, everyone. We are joined with a couple additional great artists for our fourth and final interview for our collaboration with Battle of the Sketches. We have Martin and Marvin here. We'll let them actually introduce themselves. So, yeah. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for inviting us, for inviting the crew. It's been fun. I've been watching the podcast, and it's been pretty interesting to listen to those dudes that I've been talking to for a while now. It's been pretty cool. Yeah,
That's
enjoying that.
something that previous people have said is it's nice to put a face to their artwork because
Yeah.
a lot of the guys haven't actually seen each other. They just see each other's artwork. So
Yeah, true.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, same thing. Most of the people I see on the group, I know by their handles, and just to know that they're not just people texting. So, thank you very much.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about yourselves. You know, like your name. Who are you? How long have you been doing art? How did you find the Battle of the Sketches community? You know, all that. You know, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, my name's Marvin. I go by the handle Marvin Nation or Marvin Nation Art. But like if you Google Marvin Nation, you'll find me on Xbox. You'll find me on video games and a lot of platforms. That's my nickname IRL. So I just use it for everything. I'm in Mexico. I'm in Baja. I'm right across the border from California. So that's been fun. That's been fun. Been living here all my life, and well, I've been drawing since ever since I remember. Like I was one of these very hyperactive kids, and my mom was like, just grab a pencil, do something in your hands. So that's how I started my my drawing career, I want to say. Been doing it on and off for since forever. I did stop drawing some years ago for 5 or 7 years for reasons. Sometimes you just step away from art. But I came back a couple of years ago, like trying to be better. Like I've never stopped drawing anything, but I don't think I ever had like a purpose to draw. And I kind of that's kind of how I fell in the lap of the Battle of the Sketches. I knew one of the other artists, Jeremy L. Joe from Twitch, from watching Jim Lee, and a small community developed there of people interested in art. We did some fan book comic books. We did a 20-something Justice League comic book for fun. And when I started following him on Instagram, I noticed the Battle of the Sketches thing. So I just joined up one day, started doing, I don't want to say anything elaborate. I just started participating. Then I got invited into the group chat. And that's when I felt a little more compelled to really put in the work and get better. Like, I have been learning a lot of things just to keep up with all the amazing artists. Like, Martin here, he's like, I'm always in awe of the things he does, and not only the weekly stuff, he just drops some really amazing pieces, and I'm like, damn, I gotta do better next week. So that's been a drive that I have, right? So I'm also a writer that I have done professionally for many, many years. And so I have a lot of stories that I want to illustrate, but like, I know that I need to learn a bunch of things before I can make something out of it. So this group has been pretty good at pushing me, at setting a very high bar each week. And I love that. I love the quote unquote competition, right? Which is not a competition, but it is, right? It is.
Yeah.
So, well, me, I'm from the complete other side. I'm from Quebec and the South Shore of Montreal, and I've been well. I studied in arts and have my bachelor's degree in arts history, but having a couple of kids and a wife, had to find a job and leave it a bit aside. And what got me back into the arts was all the digital platforms that were coming out, and I always used to do like. I don't know the word, and sorry, because I'm French also. So that's why I don't always talk a lot on the bots and, with the other guys.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, so basically, when I saw the digital platform coming out, it was a lot easier just to like draw on the bus or draw a bit of work and stuff like that, and started drawing a lot more, being more interested in all the different applications with drawing, and I discovered Battle of Sketches via somebody who follows me, K-pop, who knows a lot of the artists over there, and she kept pushing me. You should go over there and participate and everything, and I started doing that, and from what I really like about this project is when you don't have a commission or something like that, you draw what you always draw easier, like your favorite characters, something like that. And Battle of Sketches really pushes me to draw characters that I would never drawn if I wasn't asked. This I'm not a real hardcore horror movie guy, and I had okay, the Creature of Black Lagoon. He's a fish, right? I had to look it up and try to. Okay, I'm gonna draw him like that. So that's what I really like about this group is drawing characters and drawing situation that really you wouldn't do if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree with that one. I'm remembering that week we had to do Ted Lasso. And I had no idea. Like, okay, I think I heard the name. I haven't seen that TV show, so I googled the guy, and he was like, "Wow, he has a really nice mustache." And I did the simplest image is just solid blacks, the big mustache, the hair, and the eyes, and it's just like four images deeply black. And I think even Bernard Chang liked it a lot. And I was like, well, you know what? I did this because I had no idea what to do. And it turned out pretty great. Honestly, it was awful. It was awful to do Ted Lasso.
that actually
it was such a thing.
That actually leads pretty well into our next question is Martin, you kind of already answered it a little bit, but sorry, I'm moving away from the microphone. What were your thoughts on the choices for this month for Battle of Sketches? Obviously, Chad and I are the ones who picked these characters. And also, is it within your style? Is it outside of your style? Or do you like it? Were you not happy about it? Were there any challenges meeting those expectations for this month?
Well, I really like the topic. My wife is the biggest horror fan that I know of, and she's always excited about those type of projects. So I told her, like, I had to draw these things, and she was like, "Oh, yay! So you never done anything that looks like that." So my personal challenge was, damn, what would be my take on this? And like, I did the wife of Frankenstein, the bride of Frankenstein, and if you remember that picture, she's holding Frankenstein's monster's head. Like, I was trying to do a little gore, and I was trying to draw her way more sexier than she supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And I've been getting a lot of reactions from people I know in real life, like, why is this so aggressive? Why are you drawing so much blood? And that's been pretty fun for me, trying to find something that I've never done before. And like the Creature of the Black Lagoon was another challenge because the suit is very complex. I had to Google a lot of pictures, like, to try to get a handle of the guy. I don't think I did. I think I could have done way better, but
no, you did good. I actually, while you were talking, I pulled up your Frankenstein and your Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, these are fantastic.
Yeah,
I like that you got the tongue sticking out on Frankenstein's.
He got beat up.
I love it.
So for the creature, I decided to do a mock-up of the poster, like, like do it again. So and I did change a couple of things. Like in the original poster, the lady is afraid of him. But in my poster, the lady, like, the monster is protecting her because she's afraid of something that's looking at them, right?
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So I did try to change that bit a little, and I had fun. And I have to confess, I changed the eyes because Martin probably remembers maybe that I posted a preview of that image on the group chat, and I hated the face of the lady. It was a horrible face. So I just completely redid the face, and then I couldn't do the eyes. Like, the eyes were supposed to be scary and looking at the monster, and I could not do it. I did them a million times, and at the end I was like, let's change him. the eyes are gonna be looking at me. So that's how that one turned out. So, we said it already, but drawing things that you would not draw, it's a challenge, and it's a great challenge because I guess that's one of the ways that you grow as an artist. Stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, most
So,
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about that.
That's what's fun. That's what's fun about it. I actually have the original poster for the creature from the Black Lagoon
Oh, nice.
hanging outside of the store here. And yeah, so you pointing out those differences, I'm like in my head, I'm like, shit, yeah, I can see that in your drawing. It's very cool.
Thank
Very
you.
cool. Yeah.
What about for you, Martin?
Well, when I saw the picture, I knew that it would be Halloween or something like that before it came out. But I talked a bit with my wife, who's a fellow artist, and she talked to me about Karlov, and I should go like really, really like old school movie. So I started drawing more werewolf,
Mhm.
and because I usually personally I draw like superhero characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I draw. And Marvin might remember I posted a first version of a werewolf like in the woods on the chat, and I didn't like it. I thought it didn't have any movement or any scariness to it. So I saw an old poster of the Wolfman. It's I'm gonna draw like vraiment rapproché, very very close up.
Yeah.
A wolf.
I mean,
And once I got that picture, I really like putting a lot of details in the hair, and I thought it was really the big contrast of black and white.
yeah.
Really worked with like the old school classic movies.
Yeah.
So instead of drawing now for the Bride of Frankenstein, instead of drawing just the character again, so I said, okay, I did a portrait first. I'm going to do another portrait and a real close up just of the side of the hair with the eyes. Yeah, so that people could just recognize who she was, but
Yeah.
really play like with negative space and stuff like that. Again, big contrast to remind about the classic movies. Like I said, for the Creature of Black Lagoon, I basically took a picture and draw a fish, and was like coming out of the water, a bit like a crocodile.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Now I'm for the other. I'm not gonna do it for us, but I'm on my fourth sketch now. First one, want to do a close up. The same thing. I chose the witch in Harry Potter. The bad one.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Beatrix.
Beatrix. Yeah.
My wife
that's
is yelling at me.
I heard it.
So
yeah, Beatrix. Yeah, it's yeah.
But I couldn't. I didn't like what I done. I wanted to do like another version of the Bride of Frankenstein. It didn't work with Beatrix. So
like a side. Yeah.
Yeah. So I drew Sexy Witch, which is when I Googled witches with all the Halloween costumes. Well, that's what comes up. and when I posted it in the chat, somebody said, hey, you're not doing your portraits? Ah, shit. You're right. So I did Hermione Granger, and then like that one. So I'm not gonna tell the one I'm gonna post, but I'm on my fourth one.
Love it.
It's gonna be a portrait.
You had a team going there, Martin. You need to, finish your team the whole month. You need to go all in for the portraits.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna tell you which I chose, but it's gonna be a portrait, or a very big close-up portrait. Hopefully, it will be a hit like the other one.
Awesome.
Probably.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of already mentioned, a little bit, you're on now your fourth one, but for both of you, what's kind of your process for like framing your pieces and ideas? Like, I mean, this is something that had never occurred to us until a couple of weeks ago. I mean, this is the first time that I've drawn since high school was for this prompt for this month. But multiple people now have mentioned like doing little like thumbnails or like mini sketches to start with. Is that something that you guys do? Or, I mean, if it seems like both of you kind of use a lot of like digital art, or at least to some degree. So is it just something where you just like bust out a sketch and then if you don't like it, you just scrap it? Or do you do like little thumbnails, or do you like, what's your process for figuring out what you're going to do for these prompts?
Well, I try to think. I try to think about. Well, I'm gonna go back a little. It's sometimes it's difficult to find the idea behind the character. Like the werewolf I did this week, I did a teen wolf, and it occurred to me because we were talking about Michael J. Fox, my wife and I, and a couple of hours later, the prompt got dropped, and that just connected. Oh, like, I'm gonna make a teen wolf because that's a fun wolf. And in retrospective, I don't think I don't like to draw animals, right? So drawing a werewolf, for me, the werewolf is like from the American werewolf movies, with the huge snout and
Yeah, American Werewolf in
Yeah.
Paris and American Werewolf in
yeah,
London. I think
that
also.
is the image I have, like the lichen. That's the image I have of a wolf, and I didn't want to do it because it's kind of complicated, and I came up with the Teen Wolf idea because of that. Like, it just came to me. But sometimes I really have to sit down and think about what I want to do. And knowing the character for me has a lot to do with it. Like, I remember, many months ago, we did a Punisher team. And for some reason, I was doing gender bender characters with that, right? But still, the Punisher needs to have the same personality traits, right? The big guns, the outgoing personality, the aggressiveness. And once I start finding some words to describe the character that I'm doing, that's when the sort of the sketch comes out. So I work 95% digital. Lately, I've been inking. I print a blue page on stock paper and I ink that just for practice. But I start working directly on something and I delete a lot. I just completely trash digital files. I'm in this delete your artwork movement. That's that's a thing. Like, if you don't like it, don't fix it. Start over. And that's been working for me. So the first thing I do a simple figure, just the way you would see it, like in front of a mirror. And once I like the pose, then I try to find the angle. What angle am I going to draw this from? Or is it going to be a little funny? Is it going to be serious? It's what about the mood? I've been experimenting a lot lately with different coloring techniques, with different angles, with different art styles a little, just trying to find my own that I like. So aside from what I said, I don't think I have a more complicated process, right? I do a simple sketch, and once I like it, I trace it over, I clean it up. Then I do digital pencils over that, and I clean it up again, and I fix. That's where I fix the proportions, where I fix the angles, where I fix the perspective. And once I'm okay with that, I do digital links and then do the coloring. And even at that stage, I completely started over because I haven't liked what I liked. So there are some I'm looking at some of my old Battle of the Sketches things, and the Mambra. We did Mambra from Thundercats in August, and I experimented a lot with that Mambra because I was a huge fan of the cartoon, and I wanted to do like this really, really scary monster type Mambra. But for some reason, I started drawing him like, like this sexy guy. And my wife was like, "Hey, he's kind of sexy for a mommy, don't you think?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go for it." So I did a sexy Mambra, and then I added a Chitara, just drooling over him. And so I don't have a really set process other than keep trying and keep going until I like the perspective and the character pose and the angles. Yeah.
Huh.
That's awesome.
How about you, Martin?
Well, I use a lot of models for what I draw, and what I do is either on Pinterest or Google or Instagram. Every time I see a picture of a movement or a camera angle I like, I save it. And when I start my art, I'm gonna go back in my folders of saved files. Okay, I need to do a background. So I'm gonna look at all the backgrounds I saved and pick the one I like for the subject I'm drawing. And so that basically it. 90%, like you said, what I do is digital. I find it so much easier. Like I said, for when you can draw where you want, when you want, and for to just the like you said about scrapping old files and stuff like that. I keep everything, so that's what I love about the digital. I can go back and then an old drawing I didn't like, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna reuse it for another drawing or something like that, and I really love that process. And so basically, that's how I start. I find it funny that you mentioned the Lady Punisher because that's the first drawing I did with Battle of the Sketches.
Oh,
So
So,
that's
so I
awesome.
find it really funny that you mentioned it.
Oh,
And
that.
I play. I saw it. It was the same night I did the. It was on the Wednesday that I saw it. You had to send in your print. So I did it really really fast. Uh, play a sketch playing with the negative space, and I fell in love with that group ever since. After that,
I'm looking for it right now.
Uh,
Man, I think that's so cool. And interesting that we had three people on our last week's interview, and those guys were diehard, hands down. Thumbnails were what they needed to get through their process. It was unanimous. They were like, thumbnails, this is the best. They were like, look at this is my thumbnails right now, and they were showing it. It's very interesting and really cool to hear that you guys have a different process. I really like that. That's amazing. Yeah, I had never thought about thumbnails, but I've also never done digital. Chad just bought a sketch pad for his computer, the digital sketch pad. I'm buying one hopefully in the near future. And so yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is, I'm just geeking out about this. This is, the All Things Nerd podcast. We're just a bunch of nerds over here. So
I have to say that one of the things that dropped me into digital art, one was the thing that Martin already mentioned, that you can just sketch on your phone these days, right? You have an idea, you can just sketch and you're at the office. When we used to go to the office, I don't go anymore. And that was pretty cool. But the other reason is I moved to a smaller town a few years ago for work. And when I got here, it was impossible to get our supplies. it was impossible to get art supplies. Nobody sold anything. And the ones that I could get were a little, more expensive than I was accustomed to paying. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna be wasting more money to ruin sketches. And and also that's when I started with this trend about I don't like it, I'm just gonna trash it. I'm gonna trash it. So I was trashing sketchpads like a weekly, man. That's a lot of money wasted on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into the ecology thing, that's even worse, right? And I remember wanting to buy some Copic markers to start learning to color. And I was like, whoa, these things are super expensive. And I remember I bought 5 of them and I loved them. I loved how they work, the texture, the colors, the way you can blend them, right? But wow, it's an investment. It's a big investment to draw traditionally these days. Supplies are not cheap at all. And if you want to keep growing as an artist, you need to try a bunch of different things. And you're gonna waste a lot of ink, a lot of color, a lot of things just learning. So I was like, you know what? I can't. So I started leaning heavily into digital. I remember buying a drawing monitor, like a 19-inch monitor that was some unknown brand at the moment that I used for a few years. I sold that after that, and I bought a Weon tablet, which is the one that I use these days, which is amazing. And you can experiment all you want. You can try all the colors, the tools, the art tools you get these days on digital platforms just emulate real world stuff like incredibly. But like you don't even have to emulate it, like digital, it's its own medium. So once you dive into it and you start to discover that you don't need to transfer, you don't need to make it look real. You just need to make it look good and draw it okay. That's when your brain starts switching and starts dropping the pencils, right? And I do have a lot of sketch pads and a lot of drawings from many years ago that nobody will see ever because I think they're horrible. You know, they're probably funny, right? If you look at them, but they're just hiding somewhere in a drawer, right? I forgot what I was going on with this, just rambling. But yeah, the transition from traditional to digital, it can be difficult because a lot of people are very purists about drawing pen and ink, right? And I remember this Sean Gordon Murphy, the guy that's doing the White Knight thing these days. He wears 100% traditional, and he got asked that question: that why isn't he working in digital? And his reason was pretty simple: because I sell these pages for very good money. So everybody has their reasons to stay or to move, but I think that the only reason that is valid is that you need to find a medium that works for your personal talents.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
Yeah. Do you think so? In previous interviews that we've done for this month, we've talked to a lot of artists that you guys also know about burnout and meeting deadlines, and whether that's something that you're doing on a personal level or something you're doing for somebody, whether it's working for someone or trying to meet a deadline for like a project or something like that. Do you have any struggles with that, or how do you deal with burnout? And burnout is a word that we've learned through doing these interviews, is that some of the artists burn out and they're like, man, do you lose your love for it by any means when you're doing it for someone else rather than for yourself?
Well, I actually get very excited when I get commissions. So that does not burn me out at all. I really get I feel very humbled when somebody wants me to draw something for them, or they want to buy a print or something. So that does not go into the burnout, right? So what happens to me, sometimes I don't have ideas.
Mm.
That's it's I don't get tired of drawing or illustrating, but sometimes I just do not have any idea what to do, and I lose focus. I lose a lot of focus. And one of the things that I got with Battle of the Sketches is that I don't need to think a lot because I already have the prompt. So
They
you
yeah,
know,
they
yeah,
they point you and you just go for it. Yeah, they
yeah,
already point it for you. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And before that, I struggle a lot. Like I want to draw something and I look at a blank page and I'm like, I don't know, are there any characters out there, right? I'm gonna draw Batman again. So there goes Batman for the 100th time. And that's what used to happen to me a lot. But sometimes like the Battle of the Sketches just focuses me, and I go right. And like if you look at my Instagram, some of the pieces are, I want to say, they are really boring, maybe because I couldn't find a more interesting angle to do them, but still, I managed to finish something. And that's another thing I've learned along the way. Like it's better to be finished, to be done, than to be perfect, right? And I'm more about completing stuff these days than make them absolutely perfect and waste 20 hours on something. Yeah.
We've actually heard that a couple times now, is that uh finishing, like even if you aren't happy with it, I think was it Vor was saying that if you
Yeah.
better to turn something in no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if you're not happy with it, finish it and turn it in anyways. And
Yeah.
you're gonna feel better about it later on.
Yeah, because if you finish, you're gonna move on.
Mhm.
If you don't finish, you're gonna be stuck there for a long time. Sometimes you gotta finish and go next. And you gotta think that, all right, so maybe this illustration is a 5 for me, but the next one is gonna be a 7, right? So just get back, you pick yourself up, and you just move on, right? Art, illustrating, like any art form, it's has its ups and downs, and you have to accept that we are not Jim Lee.
How about you, Martin?
Well, I'm a bit different. Uh, I don't. Well, I had have a lot of experience with commissions, but I always tell the client that like for it's gonna take me like a certain time, a certain couple of months, even though I know I can do it in just 1 month.
Mhm.
It's not a question of procrastination. It's more of a question that I want to not deal with their
Pressure.
the stress, the pressure of them wanting to see the project. And so that for the commission, that's basically it. I had a two bad experience with commissions, which I just refused to continue with one client. He was uh, he always made me change a couple of things about the project, uh, and I got a bit frustrated with that because, like I said, if you want me to draw your character the way I draw your character, that's one thing. If you want me to draw your character the way you want me to draw your character, that's another. So I just said that I don't want to continue on the project. Um, the comic book I'm working on right now with the collaboration with Kyle Goodman, which is the one who's writing it. Uh, the deadline is very loose, so it's pretty much panel by panel. He's going to send me the script. He's got a couple of panels ready, so I'm going to work on that while he's working and editing the other panels. So there's no big pressure there, and I don't lose interest because it's a collaboration with it. So he gave me a lot of leeway to illustrate his characters, which he gave me a couple of guidelines, but from there I created the characters the way I saw it, and it's still like my creation, so I don't lose interest with that. And for the rest, I always have like 6 or 7 different drawings pending. And one night I'm going to work on that one. The other work I'm going to do on that one. The only honestly big deadline I have is that the Wednesday with the battle of sketches. And if I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I submitted a couple of times on a Thursday, and it was not the end of the world, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Martin, I know that we talked about it before we actually started recording, but you did just mention this comic book that you're working on. What can you tell our listeners about it?
Okay, so the comic book we're working on, like I said, with Kyle Goodman, he's the writer. He wrote that story about like 10 years ago, and he's been rewriting it, reworking it, and he wanted to do a book with it. And the more he wrote about it, he thought it should be a comic book, a graphic novel. So a guy who knew I was drawing, Ephraim, I don't know if you guys know him, at the Pass Point Comics, referred me to him. So we started talking, and we decided to join up to do the comic book. It's called Here Walks Monsters. But what I really want, the first time when he told me the name of the script and that it's a zombie book, but he says, you got to read it. I said, oh, okay, so it's another The Walking Dead. I don't really want to do another Walking Dead. I think it's overly done, but I started reading his script that he sent me, and you realize that it's a total other story that's set in a zombie world, but that's like just the background of it. And I really was interested. So I passed the script to my wife. She read it. She said, yeah, man, he really writes well. So you should do it. So, and so once I started talking to Kyle and saying what I thought, that I didn't want to do his project at first because it was with zombies, and I was pretty sure everybody's gonna just associate it with The Walking Dead. But as I was reading the script, I understood that it was just like the background of the story, but it's the monsters are the humans.
It's the people. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
And so I was hooked. And so we did the first 2 panels, which I just teased on my Instagram with the Here Walks Monsters, and he's gonna send me it's gonna be script by panels by panels, and we're hopeful that it's gonna come out next year.
Oh,
my God.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to look for. We'll stay in touch with you too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that.
I'm really excited. Now that I know a little bit more about the story also, because when you said zombies, I was like, yeah,
Well,
zombies are everywhere.
Yeah, so, okay, c'est bon.
Yeah, but no, that sounds really cool. That is just kind of like part of the environment, but not the focus, which sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, we veered off that because you brought it up, so I wanted to hear more. But kind of like veering back towards like the battle of the sketches. I mean, this coming week is our last prompt that we did for the month of October, and with it being witches, where have you been drawing your inspiration from? And I know, Martin, you said that you got a little bit into it and you said that you're not going to tell us what you're actually drawing for this week. But if both of you can share, where you got your inspiration for, this month, was it through Google, Pinterest? Did you have an idea right off the bat? Like where's this prompt coming from? If you started or if you haven't, Marvin, I don't know if you started this week's, what's your,
Well, I've been drawing inspiration from movies. The last two, well, that it's pretty obvious that I just trying to do what is it, a homage to those two movies. And well, the Teen Wolf is also another movie, just a different type of werewolf. And for the witches, I have the idea of another witch movie. I haven't sold it yet to myself, so it might change. So I want to do. My initial idea, and I have not started any of this. I'm still thinking. My initial idea was to do something around the Hocus Pocus movie. That they recently did a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some fun witches that I would, and that I want to do something with them. I have no idea what yet. So that's my initial prompt. I saw some guys talking about doing some Scarlet Witch and something like that, which is pretty cool. But for me, I wanted to do something more traditional in the witch sense. And I don't know many witches, to be honest. I thought of the Hocus Pocus. I thought about doing something related to the Blair Witch Project, which is also something that sounds pretty cool.
I'm jealous now.
Yeah.
Blair Witch would be a cool one. Yeah. Do you have were you gonna do all 3 of the Sanderson sisters, or did you pick one out of the 3 for Hocus Pocus, or?
I would do all 3 of them. Yeah.
You would do all 3 of them.
I would have to do all 3 of them in some funny situation, because it's a funny movie. It's a fun movie. So I'm like, well, it's 3 characters. I can't go as detailed as I always do because it's a lot of work and I don't have all the time in the world. I'm still thinking about what to do with him, but I will mostly probably go with him unless, I wake up tomorrow like with this incredible idea about witches. I don't know.
I do think and fuck what I think, but the Blair Witch Project, because you never see what the witch looks like in the Blair Witch Project. Sure. You could literally do anything you want with that. I think that's really cool. And I never fucking thought about that until you just said that. And I was like, holy shit. That I think Martin also was like, he said, I'm jealous. That's such a good idea.
When does the podcast come out? When does the podcast? Does this podcast come out after the witches are out?
It comes out the same day, so it'll come out on Wednesday.
Okay, so on Wednesday. All right. So let me tell you a little something. What if the Blair Witch Project? What if the Blair Witch were the Hocus Pocus sisters? What about that?
Done. Love it.
Good.
You've never seen them, so it can be any way. So that's what
you just ruined the movie.
How would you incorporate that? How would you try to incorporate that into a drawing? That's what that's what we're here for, right? The drawing.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah,
so
that is the fun part. So what I would do about it, it's one, the witches would not be fully revealed. I would do somebody dead in the foreground, maybe the hand, maybe some blood, maybe a bloody camera. And I would draw the witches floating around, but not fully detailed, but with enough detail that you would know it's a Hocus Pocus lady.
Yeah, one of them's got to be on a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, definitely. One of them has to be on a vacuum. And if you remember, their costumes are very their costumes are made like cartoon costumes, right? Because their silhouettes are very distinguishable, right?
Well, the one girl's got the big hair.
Yeah.
Like so yeah, you could make it recognizable. I really like that. I hope you do that. I want to see that now.
Well, the more I talk about it, the more I'm convincing myself. So that's probably gonna be it.
Yes. I'm excited.
Yeah, so I like to do a lot of funny things. I like to think I have a funny sense of humor. And like if you go to some of my Battle of the Sketches, like the one I did for, where was it? Well, the Evelyn, I tried to do a little sexy Evelyn. Then I tried to do which one was my favorite? Oh, the one that I did for Nightwing. That came about from talking to people in chat. We were talking about how Nightwing's butt is always a meme. and it was like, I got that illustration from talking to the group. Yeah. He was like, yeah, this is the money shot. So that came about from talking to the guys from the group, and somebody suggested Starfire in the picture in his butt to be shiny and whatnot, right? So I went for it. So yeah, Hocus Pocus Blair Witch sounds like it's gonna be the winner here.
I love it. Can't wait to see it. Martin, can you tell us? I know you said you won't tell us who you're drawing or what you're drawing, but can you give us something? Can you give us something?
Well,
at least where the inspiration came from.
Like I said before, I'm on my fourth try because like the first one I wanted to continue in the portrait style I did, but just didn't came out the way I wanted. So I did another one which I posted on the group, which the first thing they said is, well, it's not a portrait. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back to portrait then. And didn't like the third one, so I started. Well, let's say it's a classic witch.
Okay.
It's a classic witch, but it's not from the television. Sorry, it's not from the movies. It's gonna be from the television.
Okay. Oh,
so that's what I can say.
Oh, I want to guess, but I'm not gonna guess.
Can we guess? I was gonna say, can I guess?
I don't even want to do her anymore because I just, well, the girl in the Blair Witch poster, that would just be perfect for the rest of the lineup with the close-up, but
yeah,
I can do that now. So.
Sorry, ruined that. I mean, you can.
No. Do it. No. Are we allowed to guess? You don't have to answer
go ahead.
if we're
gonna come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to answer if we're right. Is it Bewitched?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I was trying.
I want to see that though. I think that'll be
and just shake my nose.
I want to see your version of Bewitched too, Martin.
Yes.
I also thought about doing a Bewitched a couple of weeks ago. When I was a kid, I had this huge crush on that lady. She's just gorgeous. She's just gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
And then I thought that I couldn't do her justice, but you, Martin, you can do her justice, dude.
the sexy witch I did. I finished it, and it's Bewitched. But no, I'm drawing her as a close up this time.
Oh man, okay. I can't wait. I used to watch that show when I was a kid. I loved it. Yeah.
I thought it was a funny take on the witch.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to see it too. Nice.
I can't wait to see both of you guys.
No, sorry, Marvin, but I just want to see yours now.
I did a commission then for sexiest version of Big Witch.
I love it. Shoot. Well, I guess we're kind of near the end here. Where can people, our listeners, and hopefully your listeners as well, that are friends of yours, where can people find you and your art?
For me, Instagram is my main art gallery. I have accounts in other places for reasons, but I don't really post. I have a Twitter account, but it's just I post the occasional art, and Twitter is just to fight with other people, honestly. So,
Talk shit. Yeah.
yeah, Instagram is my main platform. It's at Marvin Nation Art. That's where you'll find me. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll tag all your stuff on our podcast and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And me, it's the same thing. All my work is on Instagram. My Instagram account is basically my business account, where I post everything. If you follow me on Facebook, it's more like my personal account, where I will post about everything that passes through my head. So you'll just see the art once in a while in the blue moon. So it's basically Instagram.
Okay.
Perfect.
And what is your Instagram handle? I mean, we have it written down in the show notes, but
Martin O. Dagenais.
that was the main reason why I wanted you to say it, was so I could know how to pronounce your last name.
Oh, wait,
I was like, it looks French, and I knew that you were, in
I'm
Quebec.
very,
So I was like,
and I'm very, very proud of how I was able to follow the conversation, because, like I said on that chat, as soon as I can respond to somebody, they're 10 down now. I'm not fast. Usually what I post is yes, no, maybe.
Martin, I'm a little disappointed because when I first became aware of your art, I thought your name was Martino Dagenet. And I was like, yeah, Martino sounds pretty cool. And it's Martin O. So I don't know.
My
I'm
name is
disappointed.
Martin Oliver.
Oh, Martin
my God.
Oliver. Okay. That sort of compensates, but in my mind, I always read it as Martino.
In French, it sounds completely Martin Olivier Dagenet. It sounds totally not.
Martin, yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what's also funny? Martin, that you and I share the same initials, MD. That's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We share the same initials here. Is that what you put us together, guys?
no.
We're also making a sandwich with the US in the countries,
I was super worried about
everybody in the US. They just needed to finish with the other people.
I think a lot of our the artists that have been on the podcast have been, I mean, Vor was from
Originally from Chile, but he lives in the States now.
Yeah.
But also Alvaro is from Peru.
Yeah.
We have they weren't on any of the interviews, but we've been getting art. I don't know how to
from
pronounce
all
his name,
over.
I'm not gonna try, but he's from India.
Mm.
We have people from all over, which is really, really cool. And I mean, we've said it every single week.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about the Battle of Sketches is it's literally a worldwide community of like
it's insane,
sharing art, promoting each other, hyping each other up.
Mm.
And a couple people have even said, like, when you post your art, people are gonna like hype it up. But if you go to them behind, like in a private message, like, give me real criticism, like they will, because it's all about just helping. And I mean, like I said, this is the first time that I've drawn outside of a high school art class. So like I am years behind in skill level from everyone else.
God.
Like I don't want to stop.
No.
Like
you guys are
I'm
amazing.
Yeah.
I am blown away and in awe every week with the stuff you guys turn in. It's insane.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for being on the show. I mean, we really appreciate it. Like we mentioned, we'll link to your Instagrams in the show notes for the episode. And once it's up, we'll let you know. So if you want to share it, you can. If not, you don't have to. If you just want to listen to yourselves talk, that's fine too. If you
Your
don't, whatever
beautiful
works.
voices.
And faces.
I hate my voice. I
if you
sound
watch-
awful.
What? You guys got the accent thing working for you? Oh.
Well, to them, we're the ones with the accents, right?
Yeah.
You guys sound weird.
I do sound.
As a Canadian, I can tell you I've got the accent.
Oh man, this is so much fun. Seriously, thank you guys. I mean, a million times for being on here. We're both impressed by everything you guys do. I mean, it's insane. So,
Well, thank you very much.
yeah.
Thank you guys, and thank you for inviting us and for the prompt. It's been challenging, but that's part of the fun. That's
The fun of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool, and this was pretty fun. You should invite me more often. I like to talk.
Hey man,
I like to talk nerd stuff too.
if either of you want to come back on here on a one-on-one, we are down. We some of the other
interviews.
Some of the other artists have asked the same thing to do like a one-on-one interview, and we're 110% down for that. So if you want to come back on,
when that comic book is coming
Yeah.
out,
I
I want to know
promise you, I'll reach out to you guys when it's coming
Yeah.
up.
yeah,
You're gonna
You
meet my
have-
first.
you guys have our information and a way to contact us, so we can set something up.
Yeah, most
both of you. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I love
Thank
that.
you very much, guys. It was pretty fun. It was pretty nice meeting you, Martin. You know,
You
I'm a
too,
big
Marvin.
fan of yours. I've told Martin a couple of times that for me he's won the Battle of the Sketches a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna win it this week.
We'll see.
I
who
want to
wins.
see. I want to see the Hocus Pocus Blair Witch matchup. I'm
We will.
excited for it. Yeah.
and if you don't do that very sexy big witch, Martin, I'm gonna do it myself too, just for fun, man.
I'm gonna post both of them.
Yes.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. That's what we need.
Have a great night.
Yeah,
You guys have a good one. Thank you so
Goodbye,
much.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Holy shit, that was a lot of fun. Both of those guys are amazing artists. Please go check them out. That being said, let's get into oh shit. Sponsor number 2, which is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce, pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce. I can see you holding it back. You want to. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up. We'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, everyone. We are going to talk about House of the Dragon season finale. If you have not watched this giant spoiler alert, come back, check it out later if you haven't watched it. Otherwise, hang tight. We're going to talk about some cool shit that happened in this episode and maybe some theories as to why things in this episode got so out of hand.
Yeah. It was a Thanksgiving dinner-esque episode with extended family. So this episode basically takes place maybe the next day, the end of the day from where the last episode ended. So now they're kind of like in sequence, it's just like one after the other. But this also kind of goes hand in hand with episode 9, because last episode, Rhaenyra, Daemon, basically everyone that's at Dragonstone was not in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And now, for the most part, no one that's been at King's Landing has been in this episode.
Yeah. No Alicent in this episode.
Yeah, no Alicent, no new king, usurper, whatever,
Yeah.
Aegon. This entire episode is tense.
I was like, I felt like a crackhead. I was just like constantly like clawing at my face and like,
Chewing the inside of your lip,
yeah, just
smacking
like,
your veins.
yeah, this was so intense. It was so much fun watching. I literally it multiple, and I will bring them up and make the noise that I made when these scenes happen. But I literally was like, hand over my mouth, going, ooh, like this whole episode is so
What
good.
did he say?
What did he say? Yeah, it is fucking intense.
Yeah. But this episode kind of starts with Princess Rhaenys arriving to Dragonstone with news that Aegon has been crowned king.
Mm-hmm.
And cue family drama.
Yeah.
Almost immediately, Daemon starts preparing for war.
Yeah. Which was dope. I mean, that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
There's like one thing I don't like about him. Can you guess what it is?
That he is in love and married and banged his niece.
That's the one. Yep.
Yep.
Uh,
Just the incest.
if you just take the incest away, he's such a good character. But it's like,
Right.
you're gross.
Yeah. But we get to see, which we also saw in Game of Thrones, like the war table. They call it the painted table. It lights up. If you light candles underneath it, it is carved in a way that the roads, the mountains, they illuminate. Which,
It's a bright light.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Which leads me to believe that Stannis Baratheon, who held out at Dragonstone for a while, was either an idiot or he was too busy just lighting up his daughter.
Instead of the table.
Yeah. He put the fire in the wrong place, is what he did.
Yeah, that's definitely what he did.
But even as they're going through all of that, dividing, like how I didn't know how to transition out of that, because like
We went real dark there.
yeah. It was supposed
But
to be
in other
fun.
news,
they're as they're trying to see like who is on what side of this Targaryen divide. Rhaenyra is still pushing for
title
peace.
of Damon's sex tape.
What side of the Targaryen divide? Gross.
It works.
In a very, very gross way, but yes, it does.
I didn't make this
Sorry, Mom. But she is focused on peace.
Yeah.
She's concerned with the song of Ice and Fire.
She's
aka
also
Game of
like,
Thrones.
my dad just died, and he was known for keeping the peace.
Yeah.
I can't, as my first like breath as queen, start war.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we kind of skipped well, me saying that skipped a part as a very cool moment where her followers, or I don't know if that's the right word to use, her
Well, I think you're getting ahead of yourself because, as we know, she is pregnant, but
Yes.
not to term. But she goes into labor, probably because of stress. But the baby doesn't make it, so it's very
well, it made it just
well. It was birthed. It just
Yeah.
was so premature that it did not live.
came to the party but didn't have a good time. It, what? Don't fucking
Just
make that face.
because I know you're not serious, it's funny. But super fucked up joke. uh
If Seth MacFarlane can make a joke, a 10-minute fucking song about uh dumpster babies, I can make that joke.
that's fair. But then you have to argue, should he have made that 10 minutes?
No, of course not. It's hilarious. So I laughed the
Yeah.
entire time I watched it. The baby's swinging its umbilical cord around like it's a fucking, prop. It's
Moving
hilarious.
on.
Anyways, my joke was funny. God damn it!
It was funny. Just very, very inappropriate. But so she has this stillborn birth, and like she refuses help.
Mm.
Just kind of showing that like she wants to feel the pain because she's already suffering and she knows how this is going to end. But then we get kind of similar to the first episode of, the child that didn't live being burned at the pyre in a very emotional moment, but during that she's crowned queen.
Hmm.
So it's like her saddest moment and her happiest moment
Hmm.
combined, which is
Yeah.
an interesting dynamic to like watch play out.
There's a group of people who uh are backing her right to the claim of queen, and one of them is the twins from the previous episode. One of
Just
them
one
got
of
his
them.
ass. One of them got his ass licked by Kristen, and if you got it, the
Mhm.
other one. I was waiting for a laugh, didn't happen.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I was drinking.
The other one, they made a crown for her, and they like
No,
all
it
bent.
wasn't. They didn't make it. It was Viserys's crown.
Oh yeah, they took. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's dumb. But yeah, they gave her the crown and named her. They're like, hey, dude, like we follow you. We're loyal to you. They all bent the knee. Even Damon uh took a Tebow and called her queen. And yeah, it was a really cool scene until Otto Fucktower showed up.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode.
Yeah, it's tense. It kind of mirrors the showdown when Rhaenyra goes to Dragonstone early in the season to retake the dragon egg that Daemon had took.
Taken.
He takes.
He taken the dragon egg.
He takes what he wants is uh like a niece. Not to be confused with Rhaenys, who we don't see bend the knee for most of the episode. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this is going to be a big thing. And then it turns out that she's not a strong, independent woman like we thought she was. Still a badass,
I was
but
gonna say I think she is, but she just did something dumb.
she had the opportunity to either bend the knee and support Rhaenyra's claim, or just go the other way. But it turns out that she was basically just waiting for Lord Corlys, her husband, who we didn't know if he was going to survive or not through last episode, to show up.
Hmm.
And then once he did, she's like, well, Rhaenyra's actually pretty dope, so we should support her. I was like, why didn't you just support her?
Yeah.
Which was a bummer, but then she still is a super badass because she's like, I'll take my dragon. I'm going to go patrol the seas and
Yeah.
fuck anybody up that isn't on our side.
Yeah.
But so back to the showdown on the bridge leading up to the Dragonstone Tower. Otto shows up with some Kingsguard. He's like, hey, bend the knee. we're not going to hurt you. Your kids will even be given high honors, like they can be a cupbearer for the king or be their squire.
Yeah.
And what does Daemon do?
Well,
This is paraphrasing because we didn't write down the
couple
exact verbiage.
things. One, they drop a dragon on the other side of the bridge so that
Not just
they can't,
anyone. Rhaenyra
Yeah.
drops her
Yeah.
dragon.
so they can't fucking escape. It's either men with swords on this side or a dragon on that side, or you fucking
Jump off a bridge.
jump off a bridge. Yeah.
But if their friends are doing it, they might.
Yeah.
According to my mother.
And Damon is like straight up, dude. This episode is so fucking good. I'm gonna get the quote wrong because we didn't write it down. I didn't look it up, but I'm gonna, like you said, paraphrase. He basically is like, I would rather feed my daughters to my dragons or my kids to my dragons than have them serve your drunk fuck up of a child. Like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that. And there's like a instant like tense moment where they all kind of like turtleneck, a little bit. They pull their swords out.
They prairie dog their swords is what they do.
You're so inappropriate, dude.
Ellen!
And, Ellen David. Ellen David. And sorry, Alan. It's a super tense scene. And this is like, again, like I said, this is like one of my favorite scenes in the episode is Rhaenyra walks up to Otto Hightower and she rips his fucking hand of the kingpin off, throws it off the bridge, and is like, you guys are all fucking traitors. Fuck all of you. Like, die.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead, add into it, but that's all I had to say about it.
That
it was insane.
It was so badass up until that moment. And then Otto basically has the maester hand Rhaenyra. It made it seem like it was like a personalized note from Alicent, but it was actually just a page ripped out from the storybook that earlier in the season we see Rhaenyra rip the page out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like the olive branch.
Yeah.
So Rhaenyra gets kind of emotional about it and was like,
I need to think about it.
We'll answer you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Daemon's ready for war. Yeah, Daddy
Daemon does not like that.
The doctor, if you will. Because he played Doctor Who. Was not thrilled about it. And there's a very intense moment between them.
Well, so at this point, Rhaenyra has been made queen. And even Daemon has bent the knee to her and called her my queen.
Yeah.
And he's kind of arguing with her. He's like, they already declared war. We should be getting ready for war. There's dragons that are unclaimed. We should claim them. Like, prepare ourselves for war. And Rhaenyra is getting pissed off at him. And she's like, yo, clear the room, everybody. I got to talk to this motherfucker right here. And everybody leaves. And as soon as everybody leaves,
Daemon chokes her out.
Daemon's like, who the fuck you talking to? And he just chokes the shit out of her. And she's like, yep, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
It's
very...
it's not a good scene. No, obviously we do not condone this, but it was for a fictional TV show. It was interesting to see Daemon say, like, basically, I know you're queen, but who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
Is basically how it went down. Again, not a good thing, not happy about it, but that's what happened. And it was like, holy shit, this dude just did that to the queen.
Yeah.
He's got some...
And his wife.
Yeah, and his
mother
wife,
of some of his children.
I was going to say, up until now, they've had a very functional...
gross, but functional.
Incestual relationship. And now it seems to have gone awry.
Yeah. I think it's just because Damon is so hell-bent on war, because that's where he feels he's the
Yeah.
most of value.
Yeah. It was
Well-
weird. They kind of brushed past it. They didn't spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. But so then
I assume maybe we'll see it come up later next season.
we might.
I don't know.
But the episode kind of comes to a head when Rhaenyra wants to reach out to basically they're not unknowns in the realm of like lords and ladies and like high families, but they don't know where they stand on this alliance. So she wants to send like ravens to reach out to like the Starks, the Baratheons.
Yeah. Originally these houses had sworn oath to King Viserys that they would back Rhaenyra's claim to the throne. And now she's like, well, we got to find out if these people are actually still backing us.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
But then her kids, Luke or Lucerys, and then Jaehaerys or Jace, were like, send us. We have dragons. They're faster than ravens. We can get there and talk to them. And she's like, it's the first time that she has to look at her sons as like men instead of just like her children. So she sends them off, but tells them, you are going as messengers. You are not going as warriors. You are not going as soldiers. You are delivering a message. You are there peacefully. And we get to see a showdown between Luke when he gets to Storm's End, which is where the Baratheon family is, and Aemon Targaryen, the one-eyed mofo, is already there.
One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. No.
Skull. Right?
No.
Those are just the purple people eaters. Not
yeah, well, that's a thing. It's a children's book, but you're too young for that, I think.
Only like 3 years younger than you, 2 years younger than.
And you missed it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
But there gets to be a confrontation because basically the Baratheons are like, we're going to support Aegon as king because they came with, a promise of
to
like, marriage and higher status instead of just being like, remember what you said 20 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
Super douchey on their part, but yeah, King of the North. Yeah.
Best scene ever. But
twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, he's like, you know what? This dude's saying he's gonna marry my daughter. Unite our houses. You want us to back you based on something that happened forever ago. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he even asks Luke, which one of my daughters will you marry? And he's like, well, I'm already betrothed, so suck a dick. And so Baratheon is like, nope, you can fuck off. Jace is about to leave, and Aemon starts instigating, takes off his eye patch. We get to see the blue sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's supposed to be purple in the books, but a blue sapphire that he is using as a glass eye, basically.
Yeah.
And tells Luke that in order for this to be a peaceful departure, cut out an eye.
And he kicks a blade over to him.
Yeah. Baratheon shuts it down. Luke runs back to Eric's, his dragon, and flies away.
Come fly. Yeah.
Butterflies in the sky. I can go twice as
high. Just take a look. Anyway,
this came from a book. Dragon Rainbow.
Yeah, so he's trying to escape. Aemon is fucking with him, and
On the back of the dragon that he claimed.
yeah,
Uh,
which is the biggest dragon in the realm.
yeah,
And
I think it's
it is
Vagar.
Vagar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Who is basically the
oh
dragon version of a war horse.
yeah.
Like
This thing has
the only
been
dragon
in
that's seen
battle. Yeah.
One of two, but
And he's fucking with him, and the dragons are. I'm sorry, I'm like leading up to my thing, and I already started laughing. The dragons are basically he's running away. There's this massive dragon on his ass, and Amon is kind of fucking with him, flying real close to him, trying to scare him. He flies up above the clouds. Oh, sorry, before that, he shoots Amon's dragon in the face.
Luke and Eric's shoots flames at Vagar.
But he tells his dragon not to do it, and he shoots Amon's dragon in the face anyways. And he goes, "No, save me, get me out of here!" And then the dragon flies away, fucks off into the clouds, above the clouds.
Pause right here. Katie,
Pause.
shut the fuck up. She was barking. Sorry.
I couldn't hear anything.
Oh,
So
well, now I feel like
probably.
a dick. Then I'll probably just leave it in. Continue on. So, Eric's flies above the storm clouds.
Yep.
To try and escape.
Yes.
Because so far throughout this chase, since Eric's is so much smaller, like would dive into like not caves, but like caverns or canyon to avoid Vagar, because Vagar is so massive that even though Eric's is smaller,
triumphant bastard.
Even though Eric's is smaller, younger, and has more agility, Vagar can catch up pretty quickly because it's so massive compared to Eric's.
Yeah.
But so Eric's and Luke are above the clouds, and what happens?
Well, fucking Vagar comes up from underneath, and it's like a one chomp. He one chip challenges this fucking dragon and the kid riding it, and all you see is the wings of the dragon falling into the clouds. This kid just got dead. DED dead.
Like OMG dead.
And as it's about to happen, Amon is he's telling his dragon no, like don't do it, like, and it fucking did it anyway.
Yeah.
So there's and you can tell your theory here, which I checks out, but both the dragons disobeyed here. And why do you think that is?
Well, so within the show, there's an interaction between Rhaenyra and Viserys where Viserys basically tells his daughter, everyone thinks that we control the dragons, but we don't. Basically, the best that they have is that they have like a bond. So once they've bonded enough, and we see it when
once you stick your ponytail into its butt enough.
Yeah.
Like
the avatars. And we kind of see that like earlier in the season when Daemon is on his dragon fighting like the crab people and like takes an arrow to the shoulder, but his dragon reacts. And even with Lena, Daemon's first wife.
His late wife.
His second late wife, I guess, not his first one. When she's like struggling through childbirth, like when she first approaches the dragon, it's sleeping, and she tells it, burn her alive, and then it starts to react to her pain because now they're like within proximity. So like they have bonds, but they don't control them. And also Vagar is a dragon that has seen battle. It was raised in war. So this entire chase to it was not a fuck around and find out situation. It was a
Until
we're gonna kill.
Was it Arax? What was the
Yeah, Eric's or Eric. Yeah,
Arax blows some smoke into the not smoke, it's fire into the face of the bigger dragon. And then the bigger dragon was like,
I still think that Vagar from the start was like, this is a hunt.
yeah.
But
And-
once it was actually attacked, it was like, okay, we're
Okay.
no longer toying.
Yeah.
We're
You die now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's just Eamon being a fucking idiot. Because immediately after this, we see Eamon's face, and he is immediately remorseful. He's like,
Not
I can't believe that I just fucking did this.
But it's not because he just killed that kid. It's because he just started a war.
I think it's a bit of both.
You think so? I don't think so. I don't
Only
think he gave a
because-
fuck.
Well, I think that it's because, I mean, he wanted like justice and wanted to fuck with him, but I don't think that he wanted to actually kill him, because at the
I
end of
don't
the day,
think-
he
yeah.
still has a code of honor,
Yeah.
and it's
He
you
was
don't kill
definitely-
family, but he
He
wants
was definitely toying with him. It wasn't supposed to be a death sentence.
to. Yeah,
But I think the look on his face was, I fucked up.
I just started a war.
That's what I think that was. It wasn't like, oh no, I killed this kid I don't give a shit about. It was, my mom's gonna spank me.
Mm.
And in this show, they might like that. I don't know.
Well,
You know, like,
Olivia Cook looks pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I think that more so you're right, that it's more about shit, I just started a war. But I do think that there's still enough like humanity in Eamon at this point in time where he may not like his distant family, but he still doesn't want to be a kinslayer. He doesn't want to
Yeah.
kill his family. He
Yeah.
just wants to show that he is the one deserving of respect and fear.
but his dragon did one chip challenge. The other dragon, it's done. It's done. That kid's dead. And if anything in this show, this was the tipping point for Rhaenyra, is because she has been saying the whole episode, I'm not gonna start a war as queen after my father held up peace for so long. I won't do it.
And
I
she's
just
stuck on the Song of Ice and Fire of
yeah.
I need to make sure that the realm is united for
Exactly,
when
yeah.
this real issue comes.
And all these like horrible things had just happened to her. She just gave birth to a stillborn baby. Her dad just died. Her husband, uncle choked her a little bit. I don't think she liked it.
No,
And then no.
it wasn't that kind of.
and now and through all of that, she was like, no, keep the peace, keep the peace, keep the peace. And then when she finds out that her son just got one chip challenged, she is pissed.
She has the Daenerys look.
Yeah.
She broke, is what
Let's
happened.
burn this motherfucker down, Pookie. Yeah.
There's some other things that have happened in this episode that we definitely skipped over, but we don't want to. We want you to watch the show. We don't want to just like tell you everything.
We want to,
And we go out of order a little bit.
Yeah. We would, ideally, what we want is for you guys, people, for everyone to interact with us, watch the episode, and talk to us about it. If we're wrong about something, call us out. We would love to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what we want, is we want to engage you people,
You all.
in
Y'all,
it-
if you will.
y'all, into a conversation in the comments or personal messages, anything like that. That's what we want.
Huh.
So until then,
Yeah,
we're
and
right.
until season 2. Also, we don't know because this is where it basically ends.
But we
There's
know.
some other stuff with
Yeah.
additional dragons and all that,
Oh
but
shit! Yeah, we did. Damon does. He mentions that there are unclaimed dragons on the island, and they should be using them, because war is coming. He's like they only have 4 dragons. We have, I forget how many they have, and he's
7, I think.
yeah, and he's like, and there are 3 or 4 unclaimed dragons. We should claim those dragons and prepare for war.
Yeah.
And there is a scene where they show Damon in the caves, tickling a dragon with a song. It's a very beautiful song, Matt Smith. Yeah,
He doesn't want, I mean, just from the books, he doesn't claim this dragon for himself, but he's trying to get the dragon comfortable with him and then
yeah.
inevitably with their side.
Mm,
Oh, it was a lot. It was a
was a lot.
fantastic episode. The entire season is great.
it
So
really,
I'm
in
gonna have to rewatch it
yeah. I definitely will
at
too.
least one more time before
In
season 2 comes out.
true Game of Thrones fashion, it is a little bit slow to begin with because there's a lot of introductions that need to be made and
Character
there's
building,
politics and but holy fucking hell, this show is good.
Yeah.
And it ended, like I said, hand over my mouth, going woo hoo hoo hoo. Like it was
Literally, when Luke was the one chip challenge, I texted Jake and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, this show has been great, but we've taken up a lot of your time already, so we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode.
But before we do, we are going to close out this episode. And we have our honorable mentions, which is a new thing that we're doing. Chad, you got anything?
No, I've been very boring these past couple of weeks. I've just been powering through Modern Family, basically. That's what I've been doing. I've been watching Andor, and
Just like Aemon Targaryen,
yeah,
powering through his Modern Family.
not so
Title of
modern.
his sex tape.
And also, obviously, Rings of Power, but we're gonna get into that next week. We've had a lot, and these episodes have been long as it is. So,
But between our collaboration with Battle of the Sketches, there has been Rings of Power and the Andor series,
just
House of the
related to-
Dragon,
yeah.
and She-Hulk all happening at the same time, and there was just no way we could cover everything.
Yeah.
So we had to pick a couple to cover, and we will cover the other nerd things, which are Andor and Rings of Power. Really want to talk about Rings of Power.
Yeah.
And we will get into that next week. But yeah.
What about you for honorable mentions?
Oh shit. Yeah, we watched the Halloween Ends, and it was garbage. So there's that.
Yeah.
I
Kind of a bummer.
I actually really liked the last one,
I did too.
Halloween Kills. I thought that one was a lot of fun. This one, spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3, you had enough time. This one was really dumb. It was basically Michael Myers, since the last movie, has been living in the sewers, and this kid basically takes up the mantle of Michael Myers as a serial killer, and then he like kills Michael Myers. They like fight, and this like kid who's like a foot shorter than Michael Myers ends up killing Michael Myers and taking his knife and his mask. And I was like, it was very Rob Zombie Michael Myers. It was terrible.
Mhm.
It was really bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah.
I was not happy with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, check it out if you want to,
Yeah.
but don't take my word for it. But you should. Uh, anyways.
Also, if you like this show and you've liked these collaborations that we've been doing, I mean, we have uh, some things coming. You know, they're still in the works, but we have some awesome guests coming back, and some new guests coming on. So check check it out. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We'll get to it eventually. We keep saying that. We've been saying that for like a year and a half, but we'll get to it eventually. Also, if you like the show and you want to support us, I mean, first off, just our website, allthingsnerdpodcast.com. It's also where you can find all the Battle of the Sketches gallery and web store to buy original art. It's a great way to support the arts, but if you wanted to support us on top of that, I mean, you can buy merch there, or if you wanted to give on a monthly basis, I mean, it just allows us to do more. We dropped Patreon a few weeks ago. We were pretty adamant as to why they suck ass. But check us out on buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerdpod. Might be all things nerd. Either way, it's linked below. You can give on a monthly basis. You get some exclusive merch. That's a great way to support us. I mean, because all the money that we get from this goes right back into the show. It allows us to do giveaways, all of that.
It
Like,
makes
we
the
don't
show
we don't
better.
pocket anything. Yeah, it goes right back into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, we love you all and thank you for being a part of this community and for your support. We couldn't be happier with all of you. So this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.